If you just take a point in time snapshot of college students, we cannot pretend to understand them. Just like you wouldn't want a snapshot taken of yourselves and then have somebody claim that they knew why you did what you did. Right? We got up close and personal with these people over the next 6 years. We surveyed them. We found 50 of them. 1,000 of them of the 3,000 said we could interview them. That's an extraordinary number of people. We could never afford to do that. So we picked 50 of them at 6 of the colleges, and we stood with them over time, every 6 months, sitting down and asking one question. How's it going? We didn't say, how's your financial aid package? What's the problem with it, right? We didn't walk through and say, is this requirement messing you up? Should we give you this information or that? We just said, how's it going? And then based on how they were feeling and what they were worked up about, we followed them through the interviews. And they taught us a ton. So let me tell you about a few of the things I'm going to highlight for you, right? You can read the book if you want to understand all the gory details here. Let me tell you some things I did not expect to find that we then found. So I thought we would go into the field and we would find stories of students taking some loans and working maybe more hours than some of us did in the past. And they would tell us things like, I don't have a laptop, right? Maybe I had heard that students had started to use their iPhones, for example, an old version or whatever, so that they could do their homework. And I figured that I would be hearing about students who weren't prepared for class because they were working a lot. What I didn't understand was that the new economics of college are leaving people with extremely little money, really short. And that in some cases, they are left so short, they don't even have enough food to eat, even while they try to go to class. So let me do some math for you. Ian Williams grew up in a house in Milwaukee, which is the most segregated city in the country, going to Milwaukee public schools with a single mom. He was one of 5 children. When he went to college, his mom was earning just under $25,000 a year. The Pell Grant program was built for Ian. He's exactly the kind of kid that we wanted to go to college because we knew that the only way out and up was through college. The local public university that year, which is the school he chose, like so many other people across this country, they go to the school near them. It was the only public university within 100 miles of his home, and it was on a bus route. He could take one bus to get there. He made clear to tell us that, wanted us to know. That's why he went there. They charged $17,000 a year in 2008. Now, it's not mainly tuition, right? We know it's not mainly tuition. Tuition wasn't that high. That's tuition and fees and books and supplies and transportation and medical expenses and clothing and room and board. Not on campus, but off campus. Because like 87% of undergraduates today, he lived off campus. Just 13% of undergraduates, despite what you see across the street, live on campus. So if the program were working effectively, then the man whose family was determined to have an expected family contribution, an EFC, of $425 should have been given $17,000 minus $425, right? That's what he should have been given. He wasn't. He was given $7,000. That's the combination of a Pell Grant and the state need-based grant, which is Wisconsin's version of the Pell. There's only one major difference. Major difference is that the federal program is an entitlement program, which means that as more people need it, we continue to pay for it for each of those people, right? So if you're supposed to get $5,500 a person and the number of people who need it goes up by tenfold, then we have to spend 10 times as much money to make sure they each get it. But in the state of Wisconsin, and in so many states across the nation, it's definitely not an entitlement, which means the more people who need it, the money that's available stays the same. And so in his first year of college, he got the $7,000 of support. In his second year of college, he got just over $5,000. Because in that year, even though he filed his paperwork on time, the Wisconsin grant had already run out. Because with each passing year, and especially this year, when students are filing their forms earlier and earlier, the money runs out sooner and sooner.